Hi, I'm Daniel Higgins from University of Canberra. I'm currently doing business, politics and sport. I just have to do a presentation today on foreign ownership in the English Premier League and also the foreign players that play in the English Premier League. First I'll give you an introduction, then I'll give you a little bit of background information on the English Premier League and the situation that it's currently in. Then I'll talk about the politics of foreign involvement in the English Premier League, then the business, mostly through foreign ownership. I'll talk also about the commodification of the English Premier League. Then I'll go on to talk about what it means for Australia with using references to the A-League. And then I'll conclude with my opinion. Since the inception of the English Premier League in the 1992-1993 season, the percentage of English players that start matches has dropped by a whopping 47%. So today what I'll be talking about is the impact of foreign team ownership of particular English Premier League clubs and the involvement of the foreign players in the English Premier League. And then I'll try and determine whether foreign involvement is good for the league or if it's bad. I will analyse the politics in the English Premier League. I'll also examine the business attraction. I'll then finish up with examining the commodification of the English Premier League and what it means locally for the A-League. So English Premier League kicked off in August of 1992 after a reformation of English football. Towards the end of the 1980s, clubs were growing concerned at the expenses of recommendations to improve stadium facilities and that they were having difficulties in attracting players. Currently, there is approximately 70% of the world's estimated 2.08 billion football fans following the English Premier League. So since the inception of the English Premier League, much has changed within the league. Many of the club's owners and managers come from foreign countries, and by foreign I mean outside of England. In 1992 there were only 11 foreign players in the entire English Premier League, but by 2009 the average number of players per team was 13. In 2005, Arsenal was the first English Premier League club to have a 16-player match squad completely comprised of foreign players. It is not only the players in the English Premier League coming from foreign nations, it's also the club owners. As recently as 2011 there was another English Premier League club takeover of Arsenal Football Club by Stan Kroenke. Kroenke already owned a significant stake in the club and completed the takeover by increasing his stake to 62.89%. Since the completion of this takeover, it means that half of the English Premier League teams are owned by foreigners, and the big four, which is Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal and Liverpool, are all owned by foreign individuals, families or companies. Okay, now I'm just going to talk a bit about the English Premier League in terms of politics of foreign involvement. Right, many football analysts have attributed the recent poor form of the English national team to the ever-increasing number of foreign players in the local top division. When England failed to qualify for the Euro 2008 competition, this argument was further fuelled. Taylor, 2007, argued that the failure to reach the pinnacle of the Euro 2008 was a direct result of the lack of English footballers playing English football. Taylor also argued that the ever-increasing number of foreign owners in the English Premier League could compound this theory of detrimental foreign influence. He also argued that the foreign ownership could lead to foreign management methods and further amounts of foreign players entering the EPL, compounding what he thought was the issue. Politically, there is debate whether the theories of foreign influence are negative on the English national team and whether that's outweighed by the economic positives for the English Premier League and England itself. There have also been contrary arguments from influential football figures in the world scene. Vincent Del Bosque, the head coach for the Spanish national team, has voiced his opinion that foreign players and managers are not detrimental to English football, and further to this, they are beneficial for English football. Players and managers that are involved in the English Premier League are generally of extremely high quality. Del Bosque believes that they assist in the growth of English football, but they also assist in improving the English players. Politically, it seems that there is a side of caution about the number of foreign players involved in the English Premier League. In 1999, the Home Office, which is England's department that controls immigration, they constricted the rules for allowing foreign footballers outside the European Union to gain the necessary work permits to work in England. They did this in response to concerns that English footballers were being overlooked for cheaper, easily accessible foreign players. With all the contrasting arguments, it's hard to determine whether foreign influence on English football is detrimental or beneficial to English football itself or the English Premier League. However, it is very evident that English football is currently in a position where it can choose whether they want foreign influence and how much foreign influence they want. For English football to succeed, the amount of foreign influence should not eclipse the lead position that England currently holds. There is more to English Premier League club ownership than its impact on the players involved. Of the 20 current English Premier League teams, 10 of them are completely or partially in a majority stake owned by foreign individuals, families or organisations. According to Walters, ownership in the English Premier League can be a lucrative investment, fueled mostly by huge amounts of income from television deals. Walters' concern is that foreign investors are driven solely by business and profiteering, alluding to a lack of interest in the success and growth of English football. It's hard to agree with Walters' perspective on this, as it seems the goals of profit by the club owners and the goals of improving football in England are achieved by good performances of the teams and the English Premier League itself. Dobson argues that there are 5 main objectives that owners of football clubs use to assess success. They are profit, security, attendance or revenue, playing success and the health of the league. These goals outlined by Dobson are all factors that are vital for the success of English football in general, as well as the financial success of those owners. The increase in foreign ownership can be linked to the commodification of the English Premier League. According to Norwright, the English Premier League is now a commercialised league in which foreign owners can focus on a number of different revenue streams. The revenue streams include television rights, premium seating options, club branding and other goods and services related. Norwright also argues that there is now a contrast within the English Premier League between the foreign ownership methods of management and marketing and the Americanisation of the league and the long-standing traditions that exist within English football. The increase in foreign ownership has increased the money involved in the league and the ability to attract high-profile players, and also the exposure of English football has grown globally. The shared goals of English football and the English Premier League and the foreign owners must respect and nurture the rich history and traditions of English football. The English Premier League needs to remain an English football focused league with business and profiteering assisting in its growth and success. Now I'm going to talk about what this means for Australia and the A-League and what the A-League can learn. So the first A-League match in Australia kicked off in August of 2005. More recently, due to the success and goals for the growth in the A-League, they have expanded to 10 teams. The A-League and the English Premier League are very similar in many ways. They are both premier competition in their respective countries. They both attract large amounts of media and television attention, and they both have foreign involvement from players, managers and owners. This means there is much the A-League can learn from the English Premier League to assist in the competition's success in the future. Many of the Australian first team, the Socceroos, are playing overseas, with some of them in the English Premier League. Therefore, the continual involvement of international players in the English Premier League is good for Australian football. For Australian players to be playing in arguably the top division in the world, this is enormously beneficial for Australian football and for Socceroos' performances. In addition to this, the involvement of high quality international players is good for the A-League, as it will assist in raising the level of competition and the abilities of the local Australian players. I'm now going to conclude and try and summarise my opinion. It is important to ensure English football remains England's premier competition, not the world's premier competition merely hosted in England. The foreign owners in the English Premier League can be seen as an asset for the English football, as their extremely high finance levels can attract top players, which in turn improves the level of competition and helps improve the English footballers involved. With the relatively new A-League in its infancy in Australia, the further development of the A-League can utilise the growth of the English Premier League for guidance in its own development. Foreign involvement, both players and owners in the English Premier League, is essential. It is important to utilise it in moderation to ensure the league remains local, while it grows and develops through the combination of foreign and local involvement. If you want further information on this presentation, if you just go to Google and type in foreign ownership in the English Premier League Wikiversity, my paper comes up first. Click on that link. Then you can look at all the different sections that I've talked about today. Plus you can see all the references that I've used if you want further information or clarification on any of it. Thank you for listening.